Why, hello, everybody. This is Eric Vierthaler of Vierthaler Studios back again for the next episode of Sit Down by the Fire. Here with my next special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bridget LaMonica. I am a camera operator. I'm a Steadicam operator, and I also co-host a podcast called Lights Camera Remake. And my
Awesome.
dog is behind me. I'm sorry, she just barked during that.
But yeah, talk about a pretty rough situation.
oh, so punny.
I'm so
Where's my dog?
wonderful.
You are punderful. I love it. We distract my dog while we do this.
But yeah, I guess you can say in other words like that, your dog has a real bone that they got to pick.
Oh, she's got a bone to pick for sure.
And so I would just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to be here.
Yeah, of course. I was looking forward to doing this, so I'm glad we finally found the time.
Oh yeah, certainly. But yeah, so how about that you tell my audience, so what exactly got you started in your journey pursuing film?
Yeah, so I guess I always wanted a creative career. I never could see myself as being one of those people who sat in an office, even though I did do that for a time. Um, and I always wanted to tell stories. So at first it was I was going to write books, and I was very much into learning how to write fiction. And I still do like that, but I eventually went into a program at my undergrad where I learned like TV studio production and how to edit and like photography and things like that. And that's when I started narrowing in like, oh no, I want to make movies. And I went and did a master's in film at SCAD, which is Savannah College of Art and Design. And yeah, been pretty much doing mostly that most of my life. But I've done a lot of survival jobs in between here and there. So I've done some other work as well, but for the most part I've done a lot of things with cameras, so it's fun.
Nice. And I mean, a lot of other people that I have met, like who also are in the film industry, a lot of them also will tell me that they have to do survival jobs as well. And I mean, hey, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, I mean, you truly got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes this is a very interesting industry. It's very, it's freelance basically. And, work comes, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes you got a really good year. Sometimes you got a really good couple of months. Sometimes you don't have any work for a while. So yeah, you kind of take it as it is. It's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. I mean, you got to have thick skin. You also got to be very resilient. I mean,
Hmm.
especially within the past 5 years, it's been pretty rough, like for the industry. I mean, first of all, we had COVID, and then afterwards, we had the writer strike, the actors strike, and so a lot of people were out of work for the longest time. And then, after when COVID finally started to wind down, people were starting to get their hopes up, thinking, okay, now we're back in business, baby. But then the actors and writers strike happens. So, let's cross our fingers and hoping that there's not going to be any more setbacks.
Yeah, that's what we hope. It's interesting that you say for the past 5 years, because in the past 5 years is one of my best years ever, and it's the same as for a bunch of my cohorts, my fellows in film. So what
Mhm.
happened is COVID completely shut down our industry entirely.
Yeah.
I think I was out of work for about 6 to 8 months. um, Learned how to navigate unemployment. That was not fun. Did everything I could to make it happen. And then we started getting jobs back, and everybody was a little cautious, like, okay, we're just going to mask up. We're going to be, try to keep people apart from each other. And they started very cautiously. One of the studios that did that really, really got started that summer was Tyler Perry, which I have my thoughts about Tyler Perry Productions,
Mhm.
but they were being very careful. They were having like secluded cast and crew only. They all basically camped out there and filmed and kept it very, in a bubble. So things started out cautiously. And then after that, people were at home, they were watching so much TV, the streamers had a huge boom. So there
Oh,
was
definitely.
tons of content being produced, and everybody was busy. And it got to be the point where you were turning down jobs left and right because, no, sorry, I'm booked. How about this person? Oh, they're booked too. Okay, how about that person? They're booked too. hey, I found this guy off the street. Can he be a grip for a day? Like it got kind of crazy for a bit there. And then yeah, then last year things started to slow down before the strikes happened. I feel like the studios were kind of anticipating them. And then the strikes happened, no work for a while. And then after that, we're like, so we're going to work a lot now, right? and, and every other month, it's like, so we're going to work a lot now, right? So we're kind of in a weird spot right now. We're all trying to feel it out. Some people have completely left the industry entirely. Some people are just working their survival jobs to make it by, and there's little jobs here and there. And you know, we kind of have a little hope. There's some movies coming back. There's some TV shows coming back, but you know, nothing's going to be like it was for that big boom we had when the streaming wars were going on. So yeah, we're kind
Right.
of filling it out right now. It's a very complicated issue.
Oh, it is, yeah. And and a very common thing that I've been hearing, quite frankly, I mean, okay, I phrase it wrong. Not quite frankly, quite often, sorry. Quite often, I hear from a lot of the people who I know in, like in filmmaking. A lot of them have told me that, that they've been having a really difficult time trying to get people back to the theater, simply because that people got so used to watching it at home during COVID. And then once
Mm.
COVID, finally started to wind down, people had the ability, like, to go back to the theater. But in my own opinion, I feel like that it's because people got so used to watching movies at home, and so it's been hard to get people back to the theater. And I mean, granted, yes, there have been movies, well, like, where people did go back for like Barbie,
Mhm.
Oppenheimer,
There's a few that really stood out. Wicked.
yep, that one, Spider-Man
Yeah.
No Way Home.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's also like a multifaceted issue too, because for one thing, I think some people stayed home still because they're like, I don't want to be in a crowd of people. I feel like we all have like an anxiety about that.
Yep.
But also, I went to see Thunderbolts 2 weekends ago, which was great. It was a really fun movie. It was $29 for a movie ticket. That's expensive. That's like that could be 3 or 4 hours of work for somebody working a regular job. Like that's a lot of money. So yeah, I can understand why people might wait for streaming. I wish the
Yep.
ticket prices were a little bit more reasonable. I'm sure they are in like other areas, but like at that movie theater, that was the option I had was 20 no, it was like $26, but still that's a lot of money. Um
It is.
and the other thing is, oh, yes, the other thing is that a lot of times these things go on the streaming services right afterward. So if a movie's in a theater like in May, but it's going to be in streaming in June, that might make my decision for me. Like I might just wait till it's on Netflix. I'll wait till it's on Paramount. I'll wait till I get a free trial at Apple for a week and then cancel it. You know, like I think we need to space that out again where we used to have a movie in the summer, you'd have it out available somewhere else like 5 months later. So you're like, "Oh wait, I have to see it now." Like, you know. So, I think that's kind of kicked them in the butt too, is they put them on streaming way too quick or they pull them in the theaters too quick.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I feel like that you nailed it perfectly, because I mean, people do like to save money, and that's the most common reason why that I hear people say that they don't go to the theater, that they wait until streaming because
Mhm.
it's so expensive. And I mean, granted, I do understand that theaters needed to make money. I do, but but if they want to make money, this is something that I learned in business in college. This is a strategy, like what a lot of successful companies used, is that what they will do is that they'll lower the costs, but when they lower the costs, the profits then are higher.
Mhm.
And and that's actually something what horror films do quite often, is that horror films, their budgets for the most part are pretty low, but their return profits are pretty high. So yeah, and so honestly, what I think a lot of theaters need to do now is to lower their costs.
Yeah.
But when they lower their costs, their profits then are going to be a lot higher.
Yeah, I think it's complicated. It's just like
Yeah.
everything else, like the grocery store is expensive too.
Yep.
So it's like, oh no, we have to raise the cost of bread now. Okay. And then later you'll see, oh, Walmart has made exceedingly high profits this quarter. Yeah, because they inflated the prices themselves. Like I don't can we have a little sympathy for the consumer, please?
Exactly. Yeah. Because I know so many people like who work three jobs, but yet they can still barely afford to make ends meet, and
Yeesh.
uh, and that's why people like to save money, and
Mhm.
so yeah, and so that's why, in my own opinion, I think that if people want to, if these people in the industry of filmmaking want to get people back to the theater, they should lower the costs. A good example of this, ironically, and it has to do with a horror film. Last year at around October, Terrifier 3 and Joker 2 got
Mhm.
maybe not the exact same day, I don't believe, but they were released at around the same time. And ironically, both were about evil sadistic clowns. But so so yeah, Joker 2 had a budget of around like what, $200 million, and it had a
A
big
lot.
it, and it had big names like Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. That bombed at the box office, while Terrifier 3 had a budget of $1 million, and it beat Joker 2, and now it's the highest grossing unrated movie of all time,
Wow.
where it made like what, 80 or so $1 million. I mean,
Jeez.
you see, this is why that I'm saying lower the costs,
Mhm.
and then you'll get that better return profit off of your budget to box office ratio.
It's possible that that is a good scheme, because these companies have a choice. These, I guess, production companies, or maybe it's more distribution. They can make the big blockbuster movie, but then they're putting all their eggs in one basket.
Yep.
Like with Joker too, it didn't do well. Word of mouth really killed it as
It
well.
did. Yep.
So, but then you could do like 10 Terrifier 3s under that same amount of money, and you could possibly make a good amount of money for all of them, or maybe one of them really takes off like that. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think there's a better way to look at budgets. I don't deal with money in my job description, but
Right.
I feel like there are better ways to spend the money because I've definitely seen productions where it's like, "Oh, we have all this money, but you're telling me we don't have the ability to rent this lens we need?" Like, or it's like little things like, "What do you mean we ran out of water?" Like, I thought you guys were fully funded. What's going on?" Like, it's funny how you could see it mismanaged in person. I have a production where I have the company logo on a t-shirt and I have the company logo on a hat, and they didn't pay me my last paycheck. I'm glad I got a free hat, I guess, that I'm probably going to give to Goodwill.
Right. But yeah,
Hey,
well,
this
but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely really sorry to hear that you didn't get that paycheck. But hey,
there's
I
always a
hope
bad
that,
apple here or there.
yeah, I mean, that happens. And I mean, I knew of somebody like who was working on a movie, and there were complications like with payroll, like where people didn't get
Ooh.
paid for their work until like many, many months later. And
Mm.
understandably so, people like were complaining, since that they didn't want to have all that work, just be all for nothing. So
Yeah, and I've actually heard of that on a bigger scale where people have worked on multi-million dollar movies that get canned, put away forever, so to speak. For whatever reason it might be. There might be a legal dispute, there might be an issue with the lead actor got in trouble. There could be any reason, but there are movies that people have worked on, they've put many hours into. I Batgirl didn't get to come out. I really wanted to see that.
funny, because I literally was about to say that, so it feels like as if
Mhm.
you read my mind.
Yeah. No, I'm such a comic book dork. Like I love comic book movies and comics and
I
graphic
also do.
novels. Yeah, and I was really looking forward to it. It was Leslie something was the Lily character. She looked great, honestly. And I was liking the I saw some behind the scenes of the motorcycle stunts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so exciting. And then you hear the little trickle of, oh, the movie's not gonna be good. The movie's gonna be bad. It's gonna bomb at the box office. And then suddenly HBO starts canning things because they want to save money on what was it? Was it for tax? No, it wasn't for tax breaks. It was for do you
Uh,
remember?
from my understanding, I believe it was for like a tax write off, but I know it
Tax
had.
write-off.
But yeah,
That's
uh,
it.
but yeah. So I was pretty upset about that because Michael Keaton, he has been my Batman for pretty much my entire life. It's like it's like Michael Keaton is the reason why that I even became a fan of Batman in the first place. So finally getting him back, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
finally.
It would have been
And then
so cool for him to pass the torch on. It would have felt so official.
it would have been. I mean, at least we got him back in the Flash, but that was the only reason why I even watched that movie was just for him.
The
But
cameo.
oh, so have you seen it?
The Flash?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then therefore I can't talk about the spoiler. I
You can
was really
absolutely.
mad. Oh, I was so angry about how they killed him off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was so happy with his cameo for like leading up to this point. Like the cameos were pretty good in that movie, I gotta say. Maybe that's the more the reason I liked any of the movie. But yeah, no, you're right.
I was just really shocked that George Clooney reprised his role.
That was so funny.
It was. I was not expecting that because, George has been very vocal about how he's ashamed of Batman and Robin. So I was like,
Well, maybe now he feels a little bit more wistful, a little bit more nostalgic.
it's possible. Yeah. I mean, that definitely would make sense. Or either that, or he just couldn't resist the paycheck.
There is that.
But yeah. And I mean, I don't know who else it could have gotten since that Christian Bale has made it very, very, very clear that he only will reprise his role only if Christopher Nolan's involved. And from what I
Oh,
heard, they actually asked him if he wanted to do it, but he said no because, pretty much he's like, well, no, Nolan, then I'm not going to waste my time. And I mean, they couldn't ask Val Kilmer since that he was having health issues at that time.
yeah,
Sadly, now he's passed on.
yeah.
And, you know, Adam West is gone. So it's like, well, really the only one who we can ask is George.
Yeah, and Kevin Conroy, who is the voice of the animated Batman. Luckily, we did get a cameo and of him in the CW TV shows,
We
which
did,
felt
yes.
so good. Like I was so happy about that. But unfortunately, he is also passed on, and he was also a legend in that role.
Yeah, I mean, man, when I first heard that news about Kevin passing away, I,
Hmm.
at first I wanted to believe that it was one of those hoaxes.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
It was true, and Batman was just such a big part of my childhood, and then hearing he passed away, it just felt like just such, just a big punch in the gut, and a eerie coincidence is that Jason David Frank passed away at around the same time.
wait, I think I know that name. Was he? I don't want to misspeak.
Oh, it's okay, but yeah, so he uh he was the ironic, because of the color of my
He was the
background.
Green Power Ranger.
Yeah, but yeah, he was
Yes.
the original Green Power Ranger in Mighty
Yes. Okay.
Morphin Power Rangers.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. I remember that. Okay.
But yeah, and even worse is the way how he died is that he took his own life. Like,
Oh, shoot, it's one of those. Ugh, that's so
uh,
awful. Yeah,
yeah,
it's unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of these stars are under a ton of pressure, and I can only imagine that, being in the public eye all the time and having a lot of that pressure does not help your mental health. So, I just want everybody to take care of themselves. A movie's just a movie,
exactly.
a TV show's just a TV show. There's a whole life outside of that.
Exactly. And that's something that I've learned for myself. It's like while yes, there isn't anything wrong with being a fan of their work, but we also have to understand that for these people, that
Mhm.
A, it's a job, and also B, there's a lot more to their life rather than just said movie or TV show that they were a part of.
Yeah, they're whole people. I want more people to understand that. Like you can enjoy someone's work and all that,
Yep.
but that's still a person. So like if you see them on the street, you don't have to be weird about it. You can say hi, you can say, "Hey, I like your work," but move on. Don't bug them. They need a
Exactly.
life too.
Exactly. And I definitely don't want to sound like a hypocrite since that people who follow me on social media, they definitely will say that I definitely do have quite the autograph collection.
Ooh.
And so with that being said, there isn't anything wrong with asking them for their autograph, just as long as they are okay with it.
Yeah. There's a
Like,
time and a place for everything.
there is like I saw this video like where this guy was bugging Harrison Ford about signing all this stuff. And then
See, that's when
Harrison
it's
Ford,
wrong.
you could tell that he was getting pretty mad about that because he was saying, look, just please leave me alone. I just want to just go do what I want to go do. But they continuously were pressuring him into doing it.
Mm,
Yeah, it's very justifiable why Harrison Ford got mad. And then there was one video similar to that where it was Tobey Maguire and I'm going to assume it was his girlfriend, where they were in a parking garage and
mhm.
they simply were just trying to drive out of the parking garage, but these paparazzis were just taking pictures left and right with the flash,
Aw.
and Toby was saying, I can't see, can you please stop? But they
Yeah,
didn't
that's rude.
stop. Oh yes, it was. And this is where Toby lost his cool. He and then eventually forcefully opened the door, pushed the paparazzis away, and then
Mm,
he was yelling at them, cussing at them. It's like, wow, yes, that was a very very strong reaction. I completely
I
understand
get
why
it.
Toby reacted that way.
I get it, and that's why when I see stories like, "Oh, Toby Maguire punched a paparazzi," I'm like, "Eh, he probably deserved it." Or, I'm
Yep.
not gonna read too far into that and click on that clickbait article because, I have a feeling it was probably caused by something. Like when they show you a video on TMZ of Britney Spears losing her crap at a gas station. For one thing, why are you following her at a gas station? That's for one thing, that's weird.
It is.
Um, but there was like when they were teasing the No Way Home stuff, they kept
Yep.
showing like all kinds of pictures of these guys in the Atlanta airport, and I'm like, can you just let people be? Like, can we not bug them and take pictures of strange? It's weird. Imagine if you were and you were somebody out in the world and people are just taking pictures of you and posting it on social media like, "Oh, I wonder what Eric's up to. Ooh, look at this."
Yep.
Ooh. Like it's just rude.
It
It's not
is.
cool. I wish we could get rid of that paparazzi culture because it's so gross and we don't need to be up in everybody's business all the time.
We
I
don't.
don't know.
And yeah, and it's like, yeah, yeah, they fill up their vehicles with gas too. Who cares?
Just like a real person.
Right. And they'll go, oh, Jennifer Lopez shopping at Walmart. Like, yeah, I do grocery
Wow.
shopping too.
Yeah, I know. It's so gross that people have to be that way about it. Um I was I was actually an extra or background in a movie once. This was years ago, and there was a lady, with me in this crowd scene, and Sofia Vergara was like a few steps away from us, and she was holding a cute little dog or something. She was there because her boyfriend was one of the actors, and the lady next to me is like, "Oh my gosh, she's right there. Do you think I should tell her that she's beautiful?" And I'm like, "She knows." You probably shouldn't go up and tell her that she's beautiful. That's sweet, but I don't think she wants to be bothered.
Yeah, probably not. And yeah,
It
and
was innocent, but, like, I can only imagine that's annoying?
oh, it is. Yeah. But yeah, reminds me of a story like about how I actually met somebody like who actually got to meet Adam Sandler. And then
Hmm.
they were telling me that when they met Adam Sandler, like how Adam Sandler had a full on mental breakdown in front of him. Simply, simply it's because of how much people bother him and all that.
Mm,
And then and then yeah,
that's a shame.
it is. I mean, it's a double edged sword. It's because I am definitely really happy for Adam. Knowing that he worked hard enough, and and knowing that he got to where he wanted to be. But but at the same time, it's a shame that at a price, though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, and also like when you hear stories of like, oh, so and so, some actor is a real jerk, you have to wonder the context. Like, did you go up to them when they were having lunch with their family and bother them, and now you
Yeah.
think they're a jerk? Because I would be a jerk to you too if you were doing that to me. So yeah, a lot of things in context. Um, and of course I hear stories from friends who work in the industry and like, oh, so and so was real cool on set, so and so was very professional, so and so was a real jerk. Like, and sometimes that also depends. Did they just have a bad day? Like
Yeah.
everybody has a bad day. You meet me on, I had a raging head cold last week. If you met me that day, be like, oh wow, Bridget's kind of annoyed easily and really grumpy. It's like, yeah, I was feeling really bad. Like that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there definitely are a lot of like circumstances and factors that definitely can contribute, to someone's behavior. Like, is it a nice thought, to imagine that people always are gonna be, nice and friendly and all that?
Yeah,
Yes, but
but
let's be realistic. People are people, and people feel emotions. And I mean, granted, while they may not always be justified, while granted it may not always excuse, like that their rude behavior, but ultimately the point is that there are always reasons why people react, you know, the ways that they do.
yeah, very true. Very true. I just, if we can give everybody a little bit of grace and a little bit of understanding, maybe we can make the world a tiny bit nicer place.
Exactly. Like, reminds me of a story about how, about how at my old daycare center, I actually, the person who ran it actually said that they got to meet Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
This was for the movie Far and Away, like well over 30 years ago now. So that
Oh,
shows how
wow.
long ago it's been. But yeah, so she was saying two things about Tom Cruise. A, he's really short in person, which is the most common thing that I hear about Tom
That's
Cruise.
accurate. Yeah.
B, she also said he was not very nice.
Okay.
But I mean, granted, I have seen some interviews where he seems like a nice guy, and you know, I've heard people say mixed things. So ultimately, I mean, that was over 30 years ago, and it's
Mm,
definitely possible that Tom Cruise definitely has grown and developed as a person ever since then.
yeah.
I mean, I can't speak fully on his behalf since I myself like have never met Tom Cruise, but I mean, ultimately, there definitely could have been reasons as to why that Tom Cruise might have rubbed her off the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, if we could just give everybody a little understanding and context is important. And,
Yep.
somebody meets somebody in an awkward position at a bad day, whatever, or they met them 30 years ago and they're a completely different person now, or maybe they're not. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, there are some people who will change for the better, but unfortunately, the other side of that coin is that there are those who do not. So
Yeah, no, there's definitely some cases of those. A lot of problematic creators in Hollywood, so I totally understand what you mean there.
there are, yeah, like, there are just some people who are just too single minded for their own good. And at that point, I'm like, you do you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not subscribe to your belief.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. And so you're mentioning that you have your own podcast. So, so what exactly started that?
Yeah, so for a while I was thinking about doing some kind of film related podcast, but I couldn't narrow down what I wanted to talk about that hadn't already been covered because there's many podcasts out there.
There are,
Um,
yes.
my friend Erica and I were both working on set together, and we kept just talking about movies and what we like to see and what movies we hadn't seen yet. We kept turning in our geek card, like, oh, I've never seen, all these famous movies that people talk about. So we're trying to watch these different movies. And we started talking about, hey, you know how we get together and we watch movies and we discuss them? Why don't we do that on a podcast? And then it became a process of narrowing down what we wanted to talk about. And when we came to the subject of remakes, that's when we realized that people got really passionate because they're either really mad or they have one they really like, but they're usually mad about it. They usually just say Hollywood has no original ideas. It's terrible. It's an awful idea. You should never do this. Why does Hollywood have no? And that passion is what was like, okay, yeah, we got to do the remake one.
Yeah, remakes. I mean, within the industry of filmmaking, that's a very big topic. And yeah, and now I will admit I am just as guilty of that. Like, the Lion King is one of my favorite movies, and with the remake of that, I was really mad about it.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it, but there have been some remakes I have enjoyed, like The Hills Have Eyes, John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yes.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, so that's when I realized that I couldn't also use the blanket statement that remakes suck because
Yep.
they don't all suck. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are in between. And throughout our podcast, we watch a bunch of different movies and we compare them. A lot of times we compare an original and its remake, or sometimes we do an original and its sequel because sequels are almost just as guilty of being the Hollywood has no original ideas problem, rehashing a tried story already. So yeah, just because of that passion. And what's funny is people keep coming up to us and giving us more movie suggestions, and we're like, we can't watch all the ones that are already on the list. We'll try. We'll get there eventually. And people are still coming up to me with their opinions on certain episodes we covered. I'm like, that's great, but RoboCop was like 10 episodes ago, so I can't add that to the episode now.
Yeah, and especially knowing just how many remakes there are,
There's so many.
Exactly. And so therefore, it definitely gives you a lot of content.
We have a lot of content. And, it's also given me such a great appreciation for the art of adaptation because some things are done well, some things are done with a different slant. And sometimes I like to see something fresh. If you do another story, if you do another Lion King, give me another perspective. And so I'm not necessarily mad that they made a Mufasa movie. I have not seen it, but I'm less mad about the Mufasa movie than I am for the shot-for-shot remake of the CGI live action lions.
Live action.
They're not live action. They're not real lions. It's still animation.
I mean, heck, even the backgrounds are CGI.
Right.
There's only one shot that was live action, and that was the opening shot of the sun rising. That's the only live action shot. And
yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean, people always point that out. Yeah, live action. And so there was one fan that I heard. Sadly, I don't remember their name. Sorry, but somebody once pointed out saying, what they should have done with the remake of The Lion King, what if they told the whole story through the perspective of Scar? And then, and then what if Scar goes through his arc where then Scar realizes that he messed up?
Yeah, give him the Maleficent angle, give him the Cruella de Vil angle. There's a few other ones that have been told by the perspective of the villain, and sometimes you get really sympathetic villains that you're like, okay, they're a complex character. This is more interesting. I didn't look at it like that. Sometimes that works pretty well. So yeah, I think if you want to redo a story, maybe find another angle, find another character to tell the point of view of, or tell it differently. Maybe it's not a happy ending at the end. Maybe things are more complicated. I don't know. There's ways to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so what people have to realize, the reason why a lot of these big name movies such as Lion King are getting remakes, and with the whole lack of original ideas, there are original ideas out there. It's just you vote with your wallet. The reason why there's so many live action Disney remakes, is because they already have their built-in audience.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's more of a guaranteed source of income.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, to anyone who complains that there is no originality out there and all that, I say vote with your wallet, like you said. Go to the movie theater, see the independent movie that's out, see the original movie that's out. For example, and a lot of times these indie darlings don't necessarily make the cut. You know, they might find an audience later on, but support some of these movies. Or a movie like Sinners, that had a good budget, of course, but that's an
Yep.
original movie and it has
Yep.
done very well.
Oh, it
So, yeah.
has, yeah.
So, yeah,
And
so to look at that.
yeah, and people have to realize a lot of these big name franchises, which are now big name franchises, at one point they were not a big name franchise. And then, but they became a big name franchise because you paid to see it. Well, like at one point, Terrifier, Terrifier was not
Yeah.
what it is now. Like at one point, you would go to Spirit Halloween and you would not see any Art the Clown merchandise. But now with Terrifier 2
Yeah.
and 3 making so much money, especially Terrifier 3, you see Art the Clown merchandise everywhere.
Yeah, it makes a difference. They saw that it did really well. And I heard that those movies only started doing really well when they had a couple out already. Like the first one didn't necessarily blow up. But I could be wrong on this. I heard that those movies blew up when they had like either the second one came out or the third one, and then
Yeah,
suddenly
and
they went crazy.
now from my understanding, Terrifier 1, while yes, it was a hit, from my understanding, it was a few big name people who put in a good word about it and
That'll
whatnot,
do it.
and it started to build its following. And then Terrifier 2 came out and had a bigger budget, bigger box office. The third film came out, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Terrifier 3 was an even bigger hit than Terrifier 2.
Wow.
So
So they're gonna make like 5 more.
yeah, because money talks.
I mean, there's another Final Destination, or I think it just came out. Another Final Destination coming
Yes, it
out.
did.
I
Yeah.
thought I thought they ran the gamut on those, but hopefully this new one's really good. I kind of want to see it. The advertising's been great. The log trucks running on the highways.
Yes, that was perfect marketing.
A genius marketing. All the millennials immediately cringed because that's been a fear ever since the second movie came out. That's been a fear for all of us that we none of us will drive behind a logging truck.
Yep, and and knowing that there have been so many memes about that scene.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that made its mark in cinema history.
It
Speaking of
did.
horror movies,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. It absolutely did. And but yeah, so I have seen the new movie, and yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I am just speaking on my behalf. I personally really enjoyed it. I mean, granted, I haven't seen the other movies in a really, really long time. So therefore, my memory on the other movies is kind of vague. I mean, there definitely are scenes that I definitely do remember, such as in, part 2 with the logs, and part 3, how it took
yeah,
place at a roller coaster. But yeah,
yeah.
that's why, in my own personal opinion, I like the third one the best, because that was the perfect setting at a
Oh,
theme park.
yeah.
It's because if things go wrong at a theme park all the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there was a theme park in New Jersey that there's a documentary about called Class Action Park. Yeah, there can be things that go wrong, and maybe somebody didn't maintain that machinery. Maybe somebody, especially in the olden days before our time, it was very unsafe to go on a carnival ride or theme park ride. I mean, they're pretty well maintained now, I hope, but you
I
never
hope.
know. There's always that thing in the back of your head that's like, is this the day?
Yeah, you probably have seen, how they have those rides where it's like a slingshot.
Oh no, I'm good. I'll just stay right here.
Yeah, so you probably get where I'm getting at, is that I saw one viral video where one of the wires broke.
Oh, no, thank
I
you.
can only imagine being that person on that ride at that time, seeing that, instantly begging, get me off.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm gonna not sign up for that one.
Yeah. That's
Ye-
exactly why that I have refused. You know, it's like, yes, I am pretty resilient, but I also want to live too.
Yeah, I don't need to thrill seek quite that hard.
No, and yeah, and so yeah, that's why I'm like, no, thank you.
Yep. I
Oh
agree.
my gosh. I mean, I can only imagine just how much that their heart must have been pounding at that point.
Oh, no, that's horrible. And the people who get stuck on the top of the roller coaster or whatever. Yeah, wait for rescue. Nah,
Yeah.
I mean I like a roller coaster. I can't handle them as well as I did when I was a kid, but yeah, I'm that's nightmare fuel.
Oh, absolutely. And even worse is that some of those people are then left forced to be upside down. And, you know, people are not meant to be upside down for too long of
Right.
time. So,
Right. I think I've seen a horror movie about that too.
yeah. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
So,
But yeah, so where were we? We were
your
on
podcast.
yeah, yes. Um but yeah, you could see where it comes from. It spawns a lot of conversations and a lot of discussion. Excuse me, still getting over cold. But yeah, we've got out about, I think I just released today's episode was episode 13, I think. And it was about Speed 1 and 2. Which there's an example of the first movie's really good. It still holds up. Like I was just rewatched it recently. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, a bus. There's actually an elevator involved at one point. There's a subway. I didn't remember all the stuff around the bus that happens. Movie still holds up. Speed 2, however, Sandra Bullock called it the biggest piece of crap ever made. And she said she did it exclusively for the paycheck. I'm like, that's fair. Because
Yeah,
apparently pretty bad.
I haven't seen Speed 2, but I've heard it's really bad. From my understanding, it takes place on a boat, which a lot of people have pointed out saying, you know, for it being called Speed, you know, boats are not
Not
really
very
fast.
fast. Yeah.
So that kind of defeats the purpose of it being called Speed.
Be different if it was a speed boat, but it happens on a cruise ship. So it's called Speed 2 Cruise Control. My friend was so mad at this title. I was very funny. That was her movie to cover, and she's like, just the amount of annoyance she had with that movie was very funny. And the thing was, they offered Keanu Reeves the role for Speed 2. He read the script. They offered him $12 million, and he said no. It was bad. I mean, the storyline's bad, so there's an inexplicable recast where Sandra Bullock's character is now dating a different cop who just mysteriously has all the same qualities as the previous guy and has the same job and the same, yeah. So obviously they just copy and replaced him with this new guy, and none of it worked. But I heard, since I didn't rewatch this movie, Willem Dafoe is the villain, and he's a delight in everything he does. So maybe just watch it for Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, nobody is ever going to contest to the fact that Willem Dafoe is a bad actor. I mean,
Yeah, I like
I
him. I like him
yeah,
so much.
exactly. Like, he's such a good actor that in Spider-Man No Way Home, that, you know, that they were going for the more comic accurate Green Goblin, but he's such a good actor, like where they didn't need all that makeup or anything. Like they just relied on his facial expressions and all that. And yeah, he did an incredible job in that movie.
Yeah, I felt a whole emotional range, like still with a comic book character. He was still knocking it out of the park. So yeah, I enjoy him in that. I enjoyed him in Nosferatu, which was also a difficult movie to get through, but for different reasons. But he was also great in that as well.
So yeah, so I'm just curious, what exactly were your reasons for saying that the new Nosferatu like was kind of hard to sit?
Oh, it's just sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Um it was beautifully made. Like I could just sit there and stare at the cinematography for
Mhm, yep.
quite some time. But it was so awkwardly horny the whole movie. Like the Nosferatu, the character, is horny. The young girl character who he is entranced is also horny. She is coming on to her husband and then saying, "The vampire's better than you." Like, this is literally scenes that happen in the movie, but using my modern language. Like it was so awkward that they went that direction with it. And Nosferatu is not a hot vampire. He's a gross, dead, decomposing corpse vampire.
Especially in the newer
Yeah.
movie, when you see his back, a lot
It's
of the
so
skin's
gross.
decayed.
Yeah, said she. I won't give away the ending. I came out of the movie confused on if I liked it or not, like the entire movie. I was really zoomed into some of these scenes. Like, I was really focused, like when Nicholas Holt's character visits the castle, like I was like in it for these scenes. And then sometimes when Nosferatu's character would talk, I fell out of it. So I couldn't decide if I liked this movie or not.
Yeah, and a lot of people have pointed this out. I'm going to say the same thing. You may or may not agree. It's like, look, I get it. In the original Dracula book, he had a mustache. I
uh
get it, but the mustache in Nosferatu, it was distracting.
Okay, I thought the accent was more distracting. And I
That
maybe I
too
just
was
didn't
distracting.
notice the accent was the mustache of the voice. It was a lot. It felt a little too heavy-handed, and I know he used a vocal coach, but I don't know. I'm barely complaining about a movie that probably didn't deserve as much complaining as I'm giving it. I felt like some scenes were really awkward. I felt some scenes were really good, and so that's why I came out of it like, did I like this? Did I like this movie? And I made fun of it for being a horny movie, which is just a funny thing to say about something that's supposed to be like really like hoity-toity, but it kind of was.
Right. And yeah, and I mean, I will give Bill Skarsgård this. I mean,
Mhm.
it was impressive knowing that, knowing that he did that voice naturally, and that they didn't alter it in post production.
Mm.
Because honestly, I thought that they did alter it in post, but no, that was all natural. And I will give him that. That's impressive that he got that voice that deep. But
That's impressive.
it's just the way how he talked. It felt awkward, and that's
Yeah.
why, in my own personal opinion, I think uh I think that the Count in the 1979 remake actually was a lot scarier in that
Mm.
one. It's because of his voice in that. It didn't feel like it was trying too hard. It felt more natural, and it felt really creepy, which is funny because a lot of people make that parallel with Batman too, saying that, oh, well, Michael Keaton's voice wasn't, too over the top.
Mm.
Everybody always makes fun of Christian Bale's Batman voice.
Bat Bale. Yeah, no, it's funny. I mean, you can make fun of it, but it worked at the time. I, for one, liked those college humor jokes that were, yeah, you remember those? Those were good. Bad Man was so funny. I died laughing at
Yes.
those. Like, oh no, it's a scarecrow, jingly keys, ah, like it was so stinking funny. But they made fun of the voice where he's trying to find the voice, and he does a Christopher Walken impression. He does a screechy bat voice. He did something
You got
else.
the crowd going.
Dead. I'm dead. Yeah, that was funny as hell. So, like, you know what? It spawned a lot of humor. I got it. It's delightful. I don't care. No notes.
Oh man, I will not forget back in the day, I used to watch those videos on repeat. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, I think the one about Two-Face is the funniest one.
Oh my gosh. Harvey face? Bad
Two-Face,
face.
put them both together. What do you see? Two-Face. Yes, yes.
Yes.
What if you thought it was Harvey and with Scary Face?
Yes, I thought that was it was so you could feel the frustration, like, "Are you guys seeing this? Like, is that stupid?"
Oh my God, it's
They
like
were really well done.
they
Like, really,
were.
I don't know, and they as they went along, they got better production quality too. Like, I was very impressed with what they did. I don't
Yeah,
know. It
and
was funny.
and I mean, to add on to what he said, knowing that they improved upon his costume,
Mhm.
and yeah, and everything improved. I was just so disappointed that after when they made this the Superman one, that I was just so disappointed
They
about how they
yeah.
stopped.
Yeah, they stopped
No,
making them. Yeah, you're right, because I thought they were really funny. Like, they could have been
they
their own
were.
web series continuing. Who knows why they stopped it? Maybe it was a budget thing. Maybe the actor went on to do other things. I don't really know what he went on to do. I think he's a comedian, the actor.
I mean, he definitely has to be if it's
Yeah, like, but in
those
real life, I
videos
think
are
he
that funny.
yeah, I think he does stand up. Yeah, I wonder. I might Google him after this and see where his career has taken him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have an idea as to maybe why that they stopped. It's because those shorts were more so based off of the Dark Knight trilogy,
Yeah.
and then knowing that they eventually, started with like Ben Affleck being the new Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt like it just would have been too awkward to have it still be the Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah, but you know what, guys? I'm gonna give you permission. I'm gonna give you all the permission in the world because every other comic book movie has had a multiverse explained already. We can have multiple versions of characters at any one time.
You actually just gave me an idea. Someday, if they do a multiverse Batman movie, which you can argue they technically did with the Flash, but
Yeah,
that aside,
yeah,
now if they do, I will be so happy if they have like the college humor Batman, actually make a cameo in a Batman movie in a
yes,
multiverse
please.
movie. Like, yeah,
Even if it's just a little moment, just for the people in the know. That's okay.
yeah.
No, that's good. I'm gonna give them full permission. You guys can keep making those videos. You can comment on the current movies. You can do whatever jokes you want because I feel like there's plenty of fodder there. You can make fun of all these comic book movies. I don't mind. I enjoy them, but I can also make fun of them.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So, I'm just curious. So, in your own opinion, which of those college humor Batman videos did you think was the funniest?
Ooh, that's hard. Because when I went to rewatch them, I would always like land on certain ones. It was either like you said, it was either the Two-Face one or the Scarecrow one because he's, showing all his fears and none of them are normal fears. And the Scarecrow guy's like, wait, what did you just say? Girl Scouts? No, let's try this again. What do you see? Jingly keys, fun for babies, not for Batman. Like that was funny. All the wild things are, and then like it was stupid things like I forget what it was like, jean shorts or something. It was like random items that were suddenly so funny out of context. Like no, I that was my type of humor. So like I
Yeah,
liked it.
and I especially love like how they added in a cameo like from Christopher McDonald.
Oh yeah, he was in it. Yeah, I'm Christopher McDonald. Yeah. Oh, thank you for following my work. That was it. That was
Yeah,
it. It was like the whole thing. I can't believe how much of these videos I remember, by the way.
yeah, and I mean, and it really shows that they did a really good job with those videos. And I mean, heck, like I even knew people like who didn't even care about Batman, and yeah, and they loved those videos.
Yeah, it's funny. The age of the parody was quite a time. They were
Oh, it
good.
was. Yeah, and I also thought that the Superman one was pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, it's my people's symbol of hope. Hope starts with an H, stupid."
Well, what was funny is when Commissioner Gordon and Batman team up to make fun of Superman.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, they're going back and forth. I'm gonna leave, and then Batman says something stupid to Commissioner Gordon. He's like, you're still a dumbass. Okay. I'm like, I don't know. I should look up who wrote those and just send them a quick like, listen, I just started talking about your college humor videos again today. Because that was fun. It was really enjoyable. I don't know. We all need a little levity in life, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah. Just to get our minds off of all of the stress that we're going through, because people go through stress on the financial level, on the
Hmm.
ethical level. I mean, all of us go through hardships in our life, and in my own opinion, I have the gut feeling you probably will agree. Laughter truly is the best medicine.
Oh yes, it's up there anyway. You need to be able to laugh and enjoy things and just have a little whimsy in life.
Yeah, and and that's why one time when a friend of mine like who came over, she was in tears. I felt really bad for her. And then, I wanted to make her laugh. And so now I was like, hey, why don't I put on one of the college humor Batman videos?
Stop it. It came full circle just now.
Yeah.
Good. Good. I like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I definitely was really happy, to see that my friend went from being in tears of sadness to and then being in to and
Tears of
then being
laughter.
in tears of laughter. So
Excellent. I love it. Truly full circle.
exactly. And I also thought it was really funny about that one where they made fun of the ending of The Dark Knight Rises. And then and
Oh.
then
Mm.
Batman and then touches Catwoman's butt or boob, and then he's like, "Sorry, it's been a while since the bat's been in the cave."
Yeah, he's trying to make make out with her in the grossest way possible. Like, like he's opening his mouth, like, and she's like, "Oh no, no thanks. Don't you have to go blow yourself up now?" And then he doesn't, and then he's like, "Look, I'm okay." And like they're like, "Ah, you're still here." It's so funny. Oh, also, wasn't there a clip where they? I can't believe we're talking about College Humor Batman so much. Wasn't there a clip where these schoolgirls were at a sleepover and someone's like, "Hey guys, I think Bruce Wayne might be Batman," and then everything shuts down, and the police is like, "Look, we don't talk about that. We all figured it out. You're the last one." Like that's a pretty funny thing to add to that lore. Like he's the only one who thinks he has a secret identity.
Yeah, and and on the topic of college humor, I don't know if you've ever seen the one like where you know like about Power Rangers, like about how Zordon
I
like
don't
is
think so.
racist.
Oh no, but that sounds funny.
Oh, it was funny, yeah.
Oh, so you're a real bad guy. Okay. Did you see the Captain Planet one?
I haven't no.
Oh, it's a lot. Is it College Humor? I think it's still College Humor.
I believe so, yeah.
But it's Don Cheadle as as Captain Planet, and he just loses his mind, and in order to save the world, he turns everyone into trees. And he's like a dictator about it. You're a tree. Boom. You're a tree. Boom. Like what'd you say over there? You didn't recycle correctly? You're a tree. Like it was like a four-part series. It got really dark. I mean, like, okay, I can appreciate the fact that we have this kind of sense of humor and this parody atmosphere, and it doesn't ruin the original property that they're talking about to make fun of it. And I you know what, that's also what we talk about when we talk about remakes, when we talk about looking at an idea a different way. So yeah, that's my attempt at bringing it full circle too.
Yeah,
So
and and I definitely would say that you did a pretty good job at that, which is funny how you mentioned remakes and Captain Planet, because I've been hearing that they've been trying to turn that into like a live action movie, like a remake of the TV show, but just done in feature length film.
mm,
They've been trying for the longest time, which it would make
yeah.
sense, since the Captain Planet is a known IP.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it could be budget reasons. It could be, getting the project off the ground. It could be in development hell.
Development hell, yeah. So for those who aren't in the know, it's like when something is starting to be made and then there's studio interference, or there's oh, sorry, I got a text from my dad. Sorry, I got
That's
distracted.
okay.
So there could be studio interference. It could be directors signing on and unsigning on, and there's a problem. There's all number of problems, and then the thing is in development hell because it never gets past development. It never goes any further. It never gets filmed. BioShock is one that was in development hell for quite some time, the movie version, because they were saying it was unfilmable. They wanted to film entirely on green screen. It was going to be very expensive. They wanted to rate it R, and so the original director's vision never happened. I feel like they're trying to do it again. Captain Planet, when I see ones like Captain Planet start popping up in the feed, I don't know if they're real or not anymore because people are making AI posters for like for movies that potentially could happen, and then they're not real. Like someone was sharing a poster of Fern Gully starring Zendaya, and I'm like,
Yeah,
guys, that's an
that one.
AI poster. It's not real. Yeah. So sometimes I have to look at who the source is and look at the what they're sharing and see if it looks legit. But
Yeah, and especially if the source is "we got this covered," you would then instantly know it is BS.
I know if you ever see that, just hit unfollow. Anyone who's listening, don't listen to "We Got This Covered." For some reason, they have like a grain of truth, and then they turn it into this like clickbait thing that's not true. There's a couple other ones. There was one that was calling itself like Marvel News or Marvel something, and they would share like Marvel stuff, but like it would be fake. It would be like, look at these pictures of RDJ as Doctor Doom, and it was all AI. Like, I hate that people do this stuff. It's so exhausting. Like, please just okay. It's one thing to make your AI art, so to speak. Label it as such. Don't start faking people out on things. It's not
Yeah.
fair. It's not right.
Yeah, and you probably have seen this one too. But yeah, with the craze of live action remakes, I've even seen in multiple AI posters about like a fake live action remake of The Land Before Time.
I'm sure that'll pop up as soon as we're done with this call because that's the kind of thing that happens. Yeah. I've seen a bunch of them. Or I'll see like I saw an AI poster today of How to Train Your Dragon. And it was an AI poster of the original animation with the dragon look completely different. It was like really giant. But the one that they're making this summer is live action. It's like, why did you make that poster? That's silly. It didn't add anything. It's not a different interpretation or anything. So I don't know why people do that. I've also seen a lot of AI shit about the Lilo and Stitch movie that's coming out. That's not real. It's like a bunch of they'll put out a bunch of random posters, and it's like these are not official posters. You can tell because the graphic design is bad. But yeah, some people are being tricked by this stuff, and it's
They are.
really unfortunate. And you never know where a malicious link could land a virus in your computer or what have you. Maybe you accidentally purchased something that's not real because this all goes hand in hand with products that people buy. They'll buy a t-shirt with like AI picture on it, and it's not actually what it looks like when you get it, or it's fake. Didn't ever look like that to begin with. And we live in a very
Yeah.
strange time right now.
It is. And I feel like a lot of people are falling for it simply because of all the live action remakes that we have gotten. And so,
Yeah, what do you believe?
yeah. And as far as the How to Train Your Dragon, ironic, because it circles back to what we said about Lion King, is that, from what I've heard about How to Train Your Dragon, it's pretty much shot for shot.
Yeah, I'm hoping they added a little something different in there. That's what I'm hoping. Um, I'm gonna see it anyway because I'm a How to Train Your Dragon fan. But um, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Lilo and Stitch at least looks like they added a lot more different scenes and like some similar stuff from the show from the cartoon. Um, but it looks like there's a lot more new stuff too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think you're trying to reconnect, so I'm trying to give you time to come back. I just see your little logo. I don't see you. And I could always just blab on for a while if you like. Uh-oh, I don't see you anymore. All right, I'm going to give you some time to come back. There you are. Okay.
Hey everybody. Yeah, I am so sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, but hey, ultimately I'm back, and that's what counts.
Yeah, that's what counts. I'm glad you're back. I was like, uh-oh, I don't know how to save this recording.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I've heard about How to Train Your Dragon. It's pretty much shot for shot to the exact same as the original. So pretty much we're going down the same path as Lion King, and I'm like, okay, so we're now in a day and age like where movies from the late 2000s are now are even getting remakes now.
Are nostalgic. Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of funny how that happens, but yeah, that's how we're doing this. Like I said, I don't know if I said it when you were out, but Lilo and Stitch is also coming out this summer, and at least that one, it looks like they're coming up with some fresh scenes and things for like there's some the standard. The classic scenes from the original movie, but it sounds like they're mixing more interesting different things in there. So I feel like that one's going to be a little bit more exciting for people. Um, but I'm willing to see where these go because I'm going to see both.
Yeah, which is funny that you mentioned about Lilo and Stitch, since that with this podcast, I actually recently expanded onto doing movie reviews, and yeah, and
Mm.
so that's actually one of the upcoming reviews that I'm going to do. Like, is the live action Lilo and Stitch. I mean, granted, I haven't seen it yet. I will see it in a few more days,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it maybe next week. I can get together with some friends and see it. I'm kind of excited about it. I really tried to hold back my excitement as much as possible because I'm like, what if it's not good, you know? But the stuff I've seen lately has given me more hope because for one thing, the little girl that they cast is absolutely perfect. She is a delightful human, and I hope they protect her at all costs. She's so sweet, and like I said, I think they're coming up with some fresh scenes and different takes on scenes that they did. So that's cool. Um, one downer for people is going to be that Pleakley is not going to cross dress. But the artist was like, "Hey guys, I tried, and Disney said no." So yeah, one step forward, two steps back, I guess. I maybe Pleakley cross dressing is not the joke we want to make these days. That's possible.
It's
Um,
possible, yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that one. That's it's complicated.
I mean, that
But
definitely would make sense, and yeah, and I mean, I feel old knowing that the original Lilo and Stitch is over 20 years old now, and I
it
mean,
is.
a lot can happen within 20 years, and I just feel crazy. It just feels so baffling because I actually remember all the advertisements about the original
I do
films,
too. I remember the Aladdin one. I remember the Beauty and the Beast
the
one.
Lion King
The
one.
Lion King one. Like that was great marketing where Stitch just takes over these other cartoons and then they're like, get your own movie. And he does.
Yeah.
It was great marketing. I loved it.
Oh, it was,
But
yeah.
yeah, smart is smart. So yeah, I don't know. I'm retaining hope for some of these things. Even you know what? Even if How to Train Your Dragon is the same story, I'll probably enjoy it. But I hope that they're just not showing me that they added some fresh stuff. It's the same director. You'd think he'd want to take a little different direction on some things, but again, these are movies I'm gonna see this summer. I'm gonna retain as much opinion until that point.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you also want to go in with as open of a mindset as you possibly can.
I'm trying because sometimes a movie can really surprise you. Like
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect to love Sinners as much as I did, but I've been listening to the soundtrack every day and I'm like, "Oh, this is so good."
Oh, yeah. Same as well. Like, when I saw that movie, I went in not knowing anything about it. Like, heck, I didn't even know that it even was a vampire movie.
Oh, yeah, you get halfway through the movie, you think it's just a period piece. That's an interesting way to get to it. Yeah. For a while I was waiting for the monsters to happen because I knew it was going to be a vampire movie. But it tricks you for a while. It lets you get lulled into a sense of, oh, this is the way this is going. No, I thought they did really well with that. Smart moves.
Yeah, and and that's why I said in my review, it's a modern day From Dusk Until Dawn.
That's what I said. Yes, it really is because the first half of Dusk Till Dawn is basically a crime drama or something like that. It's about these guys who are this family that's on vacation and these two criminals take over and they sneak into Mexico, right? And then it becomes a vampire movie. I
Mm-hmm.
like it's exactly what it is, but I'm not mad at it for being that way. I think they both work to their own merits, you know.
Yeah, and since because of that, it had something new to offer.
Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of great commentary in the Sinners movie about the American South at that time, about these different communities coming together. Um, just a great commentary. Just and such a clever use of the camera for a lot of it too. Especially in that there's a scene where they show the different artists and musicians throughout the time. Very interesting how they moved the camera around for that scene. So I don't know. I dug it. I dug it. I love seeing something that makes me excited to see movies.
Oh yeah, exactly. And going back to what we said sooner, getting people back to the theater because
Yeah.
you know, I don't have anything against watching a film at home, but it's just a much better experience watching it on the big screen.
Yeah, it is. And Sinners was filmed in IMAX or 75 millimeter or so. That deserves a big screen. That's meant for a big screen. And you've got to experience that at least once. Like, it's one of those movies. Now, do I want to see IMAX for everything? No. Certain movies. And I think Dune was one of them. I think we saw that on IMAX, or we saw it in a pretty large screen formatted anyway. And that deserved it. Deserved a big screen. Um, but yeah, I can get it. So, that's expensive. People don't always want to go to the movie theater. But there's programs and stuff now. Like AMC is going to be doing half price Wednesdays in the summer, of course, after most of these movies are out. And a couple of them do like discount Tuesdays and things like that. So that's always worth looking into. And of course, there's like AMC Stubs and all these different
Yep.
programs where you get so many movies a month, which I'm thinking about. I may as well just sign up for one of these. I just can't decide which theater it's going to be. So yeah, there's ways around it a little bit, but hey, it's expensive. Entertainment's expensive.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I argue life is expensive in general. But it's just more so learning how to work with it. I mean, a philosophy that I live by, life is 10% what happens to you, and the rest of the 90 is how you respond to it.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I have a similar philosophy for going to college. Do you have to go to college? No. But if you do go to college, what you're going to get out of it is what you put into it. So I feel like that's the same idea. Same idea. So if you want to see something happen, put the effort in.
Exactly, yeah. Because yeah, I mean, if you truly want those results that you want, it's not just going to be handed to you. You have to work for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great philosophy to live by.
Oh yeah, certainly. But yeah, so anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. And
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, and so do you have any final remarks? And on top of that, do you have any upcoming projects that you would want the audience to be aware of?
Yeah, any final remarks? Final remarks is go out and see movies. Go out and see
Yes.
movies, go see something you never expected to see or stream something that you never would have clicked on before and give something a fair chance because there's some really hidden gems out there that are worth checking out. As far as me, I don't have any projects coming out right now. I just have the podcast that I'm working on right now, which is Lights Camera Remake. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the usual suspects. Um, and that's my baby right now. And then hopefully I'll be doing some short films of my own and stuff this summer. So I
Awesome.
have my own work out there, but yeah, just working on a bunch of random projects right now, so it's not easy to like shout anything out. I'm probably gonna remember something as soon as we hang up. Yeah, but right now everything's under NDA, so I can't mention anything. Um, but that's okay. So yeah, if you want to follow my work, I have a website. It's bridgetlamonica.com. My reel is up there with my camera work. I also have a blog where I teach about filmmaking, so you could
Okay.
check that out.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, and about your podcast, I mean, since that you've come onto mine, you know, I definitely would love to be a part of yours.
Yeah, we will discuss because we need to figure out what movies to cover.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
totally fine. Yeah. But yeah, but anyways, to all my followers, but yeah, I definitely will leave a link in the description for people to check out her IMDb and to follow her on Instagram. And yeah, and yeah, and but yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it and I love having these discussions with you. So, we'll
Oh
chat
yeah,
again.
certainly. But yeah, you have a fantastic day.
You too.